Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you again, all the friends, week by week. It's the third episode of the Inclusive Circus Network Gathering. And welcome, and I hope you're gonna enjoy tonight just as much you enjoyed probably the other two episodes. As always, I would like to say that this event is organized by a bunch of people. Many people is behind this event. We have a European project, Erasmus Plus is the educational program of the European Union, which makes possible to organize this event and to run our network. So whoever is from Europe, I encourage you that you apply for their funds because they are made possible many things that you organize. The partners of the countries is Atelier Vosch from Belgium, us, the Hungarian Juggling Association from Hungary, Ockocznia Studio from Poland, we have Monokiklo from Greece and Self from Italy, and Circa from Barcelona. Our main collaborator of this event is Quat Props, Craig Quat, and Hula Hoop Integral. Thank you for everybody's for their collaboration to make happening this event. About the program of today, we will start with the frontal part when we're gonna present you a very interesting project. Of course, today is again an exciting and very interesting meeting with many thoughts, with many experiments you can learn of. And then in the second part, we're gonna open the breakout rooms, which makes possible that you convert yourself to a butterfly and you go from room to room and talk to your friends and experience a little bit the different topics. We're gonna have 3 breakout rooms today, 1 for the adaptation and 2 for the application. So you can continue freely your conversation with our presenters of today. Some technical issue is that we have a new tech host today, Attila. If you have any technical problem, you can write a private message clicking on the participants to him, and he's there to help you. In any case, we try to help you as much we can. Also, we ask you to stay muted the whole time, especially in the first time, and then please unmute yourself because you probably want to chat with your friends. Also, you are free to have your camera on or off. Of course, it's very interesting to see everybody even during the presentation, so I really encourage you to stay present with your camera. And at the same time, you need to know that we record this meeting, also the breakout rooms, which means that if you want to stay invisible, then just switch off your camera, stay unmuted, and then you will not be recorded and published in any of the channels where we put these recordings. You can use emojicons down in your menu if you want to express your happiness or your sadness, or if you want to open champagne, it's all is possible to make by emojicons. About the recordings, I would like to present you some of our website because it's important that you also can look back a series of interesting webinars we made with Craig. So I think Craig is sharing his screen, and we also put it in the chat, our YouTube channel, where you can look back on the different playlists, many of our webinars, which we made happening in the past. They are like very good learning materials. First of all, you see on the left side, okay, so let's start. Yeah, on the left side, you can see we already started a playlist for these recordings. So the first episode and the second episode is already there. Then if you skip 2, then we did an inclusive juggling symposium in 22-23. Very interesting presentations. Each symposium had like 2-3 guests presenting their country's work. And we had the digital conference in, this is the Inclusive Juggling Symposium. Many presenters, and you really can map what is happening not only in Europe, but like worldwide through these presentations. And then in 2020, we did the digital conference, which was happening at the same time of the first Hungarian Juggleboard and Functional Juggling Convention. We did in Inspiral Circus Center in Budapest. And as you see, it's also a long list of interesting webinars and presentations. So I do encourage you. We're gonna also put in the chat box this link. And I would like to also show you another website, which is our Hungarian website. And I suppose you can't really read everything there, but why this website is interesting is because when I popped into a breakout room last week, I could hear that people were asking about what kind of circus researches were happening, what kind of academic researches we have about like circus in the pastime, which is obviously an important material and are important documents for us, because when we work as circus educators, we like to show that this is really a scientific based method what we are doing. And Circus is a good tool and it's beneficial. So here I help you with the orientation. So if you look on the right side, the second one is in Hungarian kutatások, tanulmányok. So if you open that, is an Excel sheet which is listing many of the researches we could collect in our other European project. We did the 3C. And then also here you find links also to the book which was published, the Craig book, but also you find the same book on his website. And also it's a very interesting other book which was presented, is the book of Lapobocteri about like motor capacities in the educational circus. And if the last one on the left side is cirkuszi kutatások abstraktjai, so you probably can see the words abstracts, is like a 30-page Word document which is collecting the abstracts of 30 researches. We found that it's like the best collection about the scientific proofs. So you can download these ones, obviously free, and you can print it. And whenever you go to any institutions and you want to show that circus is beneficial and we are doing a great job, then you can like show like, look, all these researches are made on this topic. So I just found important that you know about all these learning materials and collections we did in the past. And thank you for sharing, Craig. And now actually I think there is nothing else, then go ahead. So I give the floor to Craig, and I hope you are gonna enjoy the evening.
Yeah, so thank you for the introduction. I'm going to jump right into it. Today we have two special guests from Mexico, Paola Avilés and Itzel Aranda from Mexico City and Guadalajara, but based in Cancun now, Itzel. And I invited them here today to talk about their uses with functional juggling and inclusive and accessible circus, trying to expand our understanding of this word, and I'll discover new applications as well. So what I'm going to do to introduce their presentations is just give a real quick overview of sort of how the practice got started and where we focused at the beginning and how it kind of fragmented into a whole bunch of different directions. So to begin with, early applications. Let me close this. Initially, the first intention was just to be able to enhance the accessibility of juggling. We hadn't really figured out at the beginning that there were all these different applications. We were just trying to make the activity accessible. And in doing so, we focused mostly on the traditional benefits, improved coordination, reaction time, the same traditional benefits that we tried to do when we teach classical juggling. That's what I was aiming for here. I will say that this period of investigation was highly collaborative with clinical and therapeutic sectors. So it was very influenced by their needs and their interests, and that rapidly after this period, almost immediately after we started playing with these ideas, it started to branch off into different areas of practice. And because I was working so much with clinical groups early on and understanding the intentions, like they were more interested in direct one-to-one facilitations. So this is where we began our investigations, focusing on one-to-one specialized facilitations that were intentionally designed for nonverbal teaching strategies, universal accessibility with high results. Results mean either time and task and repetition with different motor control movement, as well as enhanced executive functioning capacity due to all the sequencing and development of spatial awareness. And this type of facilitation, though, was more for the therapeutic world, right? We use it now in the social circus world as well, but at the beginning, I was building and designing this stuff mostly for clinical people, and had a lot of help from the Italian community, from Play Juggle and Lapo in this period of investigation as well. And if anyone's interested in this device, you can get a juggle board from playjuggling.com. And if you use the promo code PlayQuat, you can get a 10% discount. Functional transformations. So the original investigations were mostly based on how to discover sequencing relationships, how to develop the sensory conversations with time, all the stimulations of juggling. And at some point we figured out that we could use any object. It didn't have to be a juggling object or it could be any functional object that we could think of, which opened up this new form of practice and partnership where working even more with clinical groups who oftentimes their goals are just simple pick up, put down of a certain type of object, or learn to develop a wider range of movements with a particular type of object. And in this way, we really start to begin to use the concepts of functional juggling as a platform to facilitate like direct therapeutic outcome goals or functional outcome goals for different types of people. And throughout all of this process of development, everything was being investigated non-verbally from the beginning. And that's for being able to share it with anyone, right? Because I find that needing verbal communication is often the final barrier with people who want to play. And this is all based off the process formations and sequencing maps, and you can learn more about it in our free book, Functional Juggling, a book about juggling. You can download it on the Quat Props website, quatprops.net. Here's some cups you can see. It's a classic example everybody loves. So it's using the same concepts as the juggle board, but replacing it with functional objects. And this opened up a whole bunch of conversations with clinical groups. Improvised formulas. So as we progressed in our understanding, as I traveled the world and shared these ideas with other people, and they shared back with me their interpretations of them, we really gained a stronger concept of the formulas that we were using to create these systems of play. And since this time, I think probably the last 8 years or so, I've had this concept pretty solidified. I've been traveling around and sharing it. I think the video froze, right? Traveling around and sharing the formulas, not like, oh, this is how you make my prop and you do my practice. It's about these are the elements that are the sensory elements that are required to make a game of juggling. And these are all the different intentions and applications we can use. So on the right, you see a group from Europe in the Czech Republic. And on the left, you see Paul's space in Cracovia, 32 in Mexico City, one of our presenters. So the video on the left was filmed in her space. And you can see different like sort of cultural values, like everyone's doing the same thing. They're all using the same formulas of creation, but we're able to apply it in what we discovered is infinite amount of ways. So if you want to If you got an intention to create an interaction with another person, then there's, a really good chance that functional juggling can assist you with that. And for this, you should check out the Quat Props YouTube channel and subscribe to the playlist Ideas for Play. And we've got dozens and dozens of videos like this there. For future developments, we really start to see the emergence now more and more of the free play model. So remembering that we started actually from a facilitated model because I was partnering so much with clinicians and trying to design an intervention. I've always loved free play. It just hasn't been like the main part of the conversation starting out. I think it's good that we went this more formal route to sort of elevate the level of conversation we're having. But I'm super supportive of free play models as well. And I think one of our guests in the next episode, Circo de Artistas Barcelona, are going to talk about their experiences with that. I start to see the emergence of more people being interested in the psychotherapeutic applications. So in the last decade, a lot of research has been done with EMDR therapy and 3-EMDR therapy, which is very similar to the stimulations of juggling and flow state stimulation, mindfulness, meditation. And I think that juggling has a role to play in that conversation, and we'll see what happens, who will step up and create it. We also observe a lot more regional specialization, which you'll see with today's guest, which you would have seen with last episode's guest as well. Different regions have different needs, so they're learning to apply these ideas in more specialized ways and develop stronger material. The future is very open with lots of space to welcome new thinkers. So if you're someone who feels like you're just getting here, most of us are. The conversation is still young, it is still new, and there's so many areas of exploration that need to be done. So we welcome new leaders all the time, and ongoing growth of community and ideas. And the people you see here are just some of the people from our training courses over the last 2 years. Yeah, our community. For some news and updates, Jael and I are running our 16-hour online training course in April. We don't do this that often. It's an 8-class package. It's 4 classes about functional juggling and 4 classes about hula hoop and Tigrao. We think it's a really holistic perspective, and it can help you get started quickly with your ideas. We haven't had any registration yet. We don't know if people are waiting their time, but to try to motivate people, we are going to offer a discount of $200 registrations for the first 5 people to sign up. And you can find it on our website as well. And Stage Link, we used to be Circus Talk. I like to share this news because I just did a podcast with them. They've been really supportive of our community throughout its growth, and they're trying to create an alternative platform for circus artists to be able to share and discuss ideas. They're still developing their platform, but I really suggest people check it out and see if we can use it as a tool for our own community. And then my podcast while you're there. So here we go. Our 2 presenters for today. That's it. That's my general background. I could go a lot deeper, but we really just want to set the stage for the conversation. So knowing and seeing how things started, seeing how things developed, we're now going to take a present day look at 2 practitioners, one from Mexico City and one from Cancun, and see how they're applying these ideas. I think you're all going to enjoy it a lot. So I will start by introducing Pao. I didn't plan an introduction for you actually, but I can say something. So in general, Paola, are you there? Paola is an artist. Let's just call her an artist from Mexico City because she does so many different things. And one of the things she does is social circus. And I met her in 2019. At that time, the material was still very formalized, and she had a really good time just showing me how much things we could change and adapt from the first time I met her. So I'm really happy to have her here as a creative contributor to our community, and I will let you begin your presentation.
Yay! Thank you everybody to be here, for being here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for allowing these spaces to happen, because it is mega important. We just realized that Itzel, that is Mexican, and she's doing things that I love to do. I don't know her yet. Can you imagine that? It's through this European thing that I get to know my probably best partners ever, and I'm really thankful for this to happen. So I hope that it really encourage us all to get each other to know each other, because I think that's the greatest way to really recognize what we do and celebrate and continue, because I believe it's really just the beginning. So I hope that what I can share today for you guys is very motivating and inspiring, as in the level that it needs to be done. This is what I'm gonna share is mostly, I want to keep it as fluid and organic as my experience has been, because that's the way it has been, the way I've been arriving here. So I hope you get to know a little bit what we do here in Mexico City and where we come from and what we want to happen. So I will start sharing the presentation, and let's make this happen. So, yay! Perfect. I hope you all see it. Yes, perfect. So, well, I'm part of the organization called Circologia. I'm a founder of it, or it found me, I don't know, something like that. We've been finding each other and founding together. So Circologia comes mostly for like this, the whole experience that we've been having here in Mexico City as social circus workers and performers and teachers. So Circologia gave me a lot of possibility to go my own way with my own people. So that's something that happens. So this is me. I'm already 40 years old, and I started when I was 15, deciding that circus was going to be my way in this life. And it has been so that far. So I'm super excited, super happy that one decision when I was 15 is still going and deeper. And I'm super, yeah, grateful, actually super mega grateful with life and circus that we found each other, because it has really gave me the possibility to be, and that's what we actually want to share. So, well, this is me, and we can talk after in the breakup rooms about each other. So Circologia, this is something that is important for me to share, is that we like to turn circus education and human development into a playground for transformation through creativity, responsibility, and awareness. And we inspire people to share their virtues and flow with the rhythm of life. So that means for us right now is that we want to put as much play into life as something very, very important for people, for humanity. Otherwise, it would be just serious, and that's not fun, probably. So that's Circologia, and we can keep on talking about it. I cannot go to the next one. Wait, maybe this. Maybe because I did something different. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the different one. Yes, I think we got, but we are 2 after. We're in 4. We have to be in 3. Sorry, guys. For a reason it's not working here. Maybe just a second, maybe through this one. Just being there. The presentation. Bueno. Yes, let's talk about why. So, and the why is, I found that I found like the difference of having a ordinary or an extraordinary life. So the extraordinary includes that little extra that makes it no longer ordinary. That means that we need to include, that means that we have to, or we can open our minds first, open our heart, open our soul, open everything as much as possible to make things happen, because otherwise it just doesn't. It just stays as big as we can think of. But if we allow ourselves to think bigger, then these bigger things will start to happen organically, and it will start to happen. So we need a diverse community where everybody has a place, allowing people to express themselves and discovering their potential and transform both their lives and society. So that's why that's for Circologia and or for me very important why we do this. And where we see it very much as a transversality. So it's mostly more than doing inclusion or doing inviting people or just saying that they are invited. It might not be enough. It's pretty much something that has to be in an everyday happening. Like we need to be, or I need to be, because you can be whatever you want to, but what I mean is, if we are open and say, and not just saying, but we're being really inclusive, then it will just happen naturally. And that's what it's mostly, that we don't have to fight against anybody or anything. We just need to flow and allow things to happen, no? And allow people to come in and go out as well. So it is a philosophy of learning and resilience and human connection as a revolution, because it does need a lot of courage. It needs a lot of courage to find the freedom, to find the free play. It needs to have courage and wisdom and love as well, no? So our work must be consistent in every way and form in every perspective. It should embrace everyone, from early childhood to older adults, ensuring inclusion, coherence, and impact at all levels. And this is the art of growing together. So, sorry, guys. So all of this is just for you to know, like, what is our philosophy and where we come from. So, but how we apply this application, how we apply all this thing. And so mostly I found an opportunity, a big opportunity, since I had my first niece. Now I have 3. Yes. But when I started to be able to connect with tiny people, babies, and finding how they were really my teachers, and really finding like this conversation with them, it just opened a whole new world for me. And I could see that this world is very shareable and is very important, not only for the babies, because it is important that they are really in the atmosphere of play. They have to know the play. Otherwise, it would just be an ordinary life and not an extraordinary life, no? So if we, and what I want to say is not only for the babies, but as well for the families, the parents. Nobody taught a parent how to be a parent. And they need to work, and they're like stressed about the money, and they're stressed about life and blah, blah, blah. So they need as well these spaces for connecting with their own babies, with their own child, with their own family. So it is super important. And that's why it started this, we call it Circolegio. So it's like a circus school. And we started to work with babies. So we found that most of the schools here in Mexico or around the world, they start with age from 6 and older, no? But I had my niece and she was 1 year old. So I said, like, fuck it, let's start working. Let's start playing. And they started to invite their friends. And then suddenly I just had the house full of tiny kids. And we're just all playing. That's how it started. And I want to show you only a short video of what is happening right now. So I hope you enjoy. Yay! So that's the Circolegio. As you can see, we're having 4 ages mostly, or if you could notice, but we have the baby circus and is from, well, it's from 11 months or even earlier if they want to. It's because I really don't care how small they are. I just want them to come. So it should be from 1 year to 3 years old, baby circus. And then it comes Saltimbanquis, which is from 3 years old to 5 years old. And then goes the juglares, and is from 5 to 7 years old, and then the ringmasters from 7 to 12 years old. But the thing is, like, the mothers or the families, they have brothers or sisters, and they're not the same age. So suddenly was a mother coming saying like, well, I have a kid of 1 year old and his brother is 4. So what should I do? And it's like, let's combine everything. And that made it everything very smooth and organic, that actually I could see that age, it is not a thing to be separated. The more we can allow other ages to join the same space, the same games, the same rules that we put in that space, the richer it becomes the whole thing. So actually, not even the brother and the kid, the baby was coming, but as well the uncle and the grandmother, and started to happen the whole family, and they were all playing, and it really strengthened the community and the communication bit in between and beyond the families, because then after families were starting to get together to their birthdays and to the other things, and they were like taking the kids, I don't know, like it really became like a big huge family. And the problem, well, not the problem, but I noticed that the situation with the babies or little kids, especially in Mexico City, it always changes. Every 3 months it's a completely new thing, so we need to keep the whole thing flowing, no, allowing people to go and other people to come. So it just really makes like a big atmosphere of strengthen our ability to know other people and to adapt to all this diversity of people, diversity of needs, diversity of ages, diversity of bodies and languages and stuff. So I'm super happy about this Circolegio happening. And I want to show you as well the other way of application that we do is I play with older people, like above 60, from 60 years old to whatever age they are. And it is pretty much the same as with babies playing with adults, like bigger adults, grandpas and grandmas and stuff. They love to play. they mega love to play, and I'm just at class having the best time ever. Is definitely something that it really blows my mind to see how grateful these people are, and actually knowing that really there is nothing for them to play with their body, to play with everybody. There's only like different activities like painting and music, and which is great, nothing against that. But how about moving? How about like letting the blood go through our veins and make the smile really not just a smile, but really like allowing the sound, and even like the to cry by laughter, like letting really the emotions to be as total as possible. So these are just one of the ideas of what we're doing. And so babies, I recommend to play with babies and their families, and I absolutely recommend to play with older people, older people, and and how to make a transformation. Like, how about like being the babies with the older people, so that the adults can come and see what's happening, that and the joy that brings. And so maybe that's a reminder for them that maybe the real importance in life is these moments where we can share and play and hug each other, and through the play it as well arrives all these emotions and all these wounds and all these things that are concerning ourselves, and then through play we can really work it out, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I don't know what else I have here. Yes, well, this is the tools that we're using in Circologia is on the left. You can see like an older guy, and it's called Palabarismo. Is one of the methodologies that I've been inventing, as you might be inventing other games and stuff. So this is an alphabet that it's not that I invented, because everything is already invented, but I applied an alphabet so people can start writing or expressing juggling. And it's really fun. It's super, super fun. And I use that not for the babies, because babies were not meant to know already the alphabet, or it's not something that I want to put them in their game, but until they don't have to know that there are letters for me, like we can create anything. But for older people, it's very important for them to have something in this free play, or in this moment that we can actually play, that we have some guidance, so that we don't get lost in the game, but we start getting the whole thing together. And yeah, then we do the Circopolis, and it's very free play, and they get all these things and tools to just construct buildings, cities, as the playgrounds, whatever they do. And as you can see, we allow as well the babies to just create their own moment to play, and that's okay. And well, that's pretty much the thank you. And that's the last of what I have to share right now. And I wanna say here, dejar de compartir. Yes. So, well, that's
Gracias.
what we're doing in Mexico. And thank you very much for your time.
Then there'll be the breakout room after if you guys want to continue the conversations with La Pau. I'm now going to introduce Itzel, who comes from Cancun, or comes from Guadalajara, but is now living and working in Cancun. I met Itzel also in the same year that I met La Pau with my first trip to Mexico. She took one of my first training courses in Guadalajara. And then I think there was a little bit of a gap. She processed a little bit, and then she started her own inclusive circus project working with Down syndrome. And she's going to share with us now what that's like.
Hi. Hello, hello. Well, first of all, thanks, Craig. Thanks, everyone, for being here. And Nothing. I hope you enjoy. I will start sharing the screen. Yes. So, if you would have asked me like 8 years before in which area of circus I will specialize, I think social circus will never be my answer. I didn't know that social circus exist until 2018, who was actually the year that I have met Craig. I used to be the person who growed grounds and to produce all these kind of workshops, but I never executed. So yes, I was the girl who is always behind all these projects. And for a couple of years, I only produced this kind of workshops, but I travel a lot for a couple of years doing social circus. I visit more than 20 municipalities from Jalisco doing social circus. And thanks to that, I learned a lot of all the trainers and all the teachers who I was work with them. So yes, I never thought that I will do social circus for a living like I do it right now. So hello, my name is Itzel Aranda. I consider I am one ally of people with disabilities, circus artist, and cultural manager. So my project began, it used to name Circo Up and Down. Now it's called Pulso Circo Social. In 2021, I decided to grow my first ground for me by me, because I was always writing projects from another companies or working with another people. But in 2021, I decided to grow my first ground, and I won. That helps me to make my pilot project in Guadalajara, Jalisco. And it lasts like 4 months of classes. I used to have like 5 groups from 5 years to 30 years old with people with Down syndrome. I think that this pilot project helps me a lot to have the basic solids that I have right now with the project, because in my team I have a physical therapist and a psychological specializing in Down syndrome. So we made them evaluations to all the participants from the project from the beginning to the end. But for me, the most important part of the team was Regina, who is a woman with Down syndrome, who was my monitor or instructor in all the classes. I trained her like 1 month before, because for me it was very important to have one people with that condition in my team, because who bear that them to teach me how to teach them, how to treat them, how to everything. Also, I paid for his work, obviously. But yeah, I will show you a video while I keep talking about this pilot project. I think that this pilot project helps me a lot because, for example, there was a few times where I couldn't give that class, and I realized how important was the job that I was doing, because I was trying to find a good teacher, because I am a believer that no, if you're a good artist doesn't mean that you are a good teacher. So I try my effort to find a good teachers, but I realized that everyone tells me always the same answer. And what was that answer? That no, they will not give them classes because they are afraid of them. And for me at that moment was very shocking, because I didn't think about it, I mean, for me, I made like a really good connection with this population, so I don't think that never crossed my mind. But for me, it was very shocking, because that answer I get like a really many times, because now I am afraid of them, or I don't know how to treat them, I don't know how to speak with them, and I was like, really? But to be honest, for me, I think I have never met before this project, or before doing social circus. I think I have never met a single one person with Down syndrome. So yes, that was for me like a really, opened my eyes to the reality of the society at that moment. At the end of this project, we made like a circus show in charge of every participant. For me, it was really gratifying seeing her parents, the director of the schools, the teachers, her brothers and sisters, watching her kids on stage. They were so proud, and also I was so thankful because at the beginning the parents were the ones that says, no, my kids, what if they fall, what if they got injury? Because yes, we work in circus with some risks, but I think that when they saw her kids on stage so happy and enjoying, they forgot everything. But for me, the most important with the thing that I keep in my heart was that thanks to this pilot project, we give them the possibility to be seen and admired for what they are doing on stage, not for their disability. And for me, it was like a really big, she is the monitor that helps me in the project. Yes, for me, I think that at that moment, I knew that this will be something that I will do it for the rest of my life. A little cliche, but yes, I don't know how I connect with them, but it was a really good project. And since then, I keep giving classes in Guadalajara for 2 years. And then I got a job in Cancun, so I came to Cancun, but I left one teacher in Guadalajara who keeps with my classes in some foundation that works also into the project, in the first project. And here in Cancun, I work in a foundation. Also, I like to do like a long process, not just one class every week or every 15 days, you know. I like to make a long process, like 2-3 days at week. And something important for me was that the responsibility to work with this population, because I knew at the beginning that I have to learn about Down syndrome needs, physical and neurologicals, because it influences in the way we teach them or in the way they learn. So for example, a lot of or most of the kids with Down syndrome has hypotonia and ligament hyperlaxity. I mean, they are so flexible, they don't control it. And I think that aerial silks helps a lot to get them strong, it has a lot of physical benefits. For me, it was really important to study and to research everything that I could about Down syndrome. I also work with autism and cerebral palsy a little bit, but I think that Down syndrome is like my first population which I work. What else? Yeah, also studying about their specific needs has allowed us to develop and apply specific methodologies to teach them. I mean, for example, when I got for the first time like a new group, I like to start with some games with juggling and things like that. But when it comes to the moment they first get to the silks or to the fabrics, I don't like to impulse anything or to tell them what to do. I like that moment be free, because that shows me how they interact with the silks and how will I teach them, because everyone's are different. There are some of them that they just start to spinning, there are other ones that starts to hang, there are other ones that they don't like to touch the silks, and it's like a whole process to get to the silks. And in all the classes I apply like mostly aerial silks, some acrobatics floor, and conventional and functional juggling. And I think that for me, my way into the circus and into the social circus, it's because about my experience, because the circus for me, it's my safe place. Last year I have a shoulder surgery who forced me to stop my career a little as an artist, and give me the chance to focus more in this project. But it teach me a lot, because I think that for me, my main goal is to generate spaces where they can be free, where they can be their selves, where they can get to know their capabilities, because more than re-educate, more than re-educate the society, it's to the people with Down syndrome. I would like to make spaces for these people to try new things, because they do a lot of amazing things that most of the people doesn't give them the chance to try it. Yes, also the circus, it's like the social circus for me was like you'll get to know yourself from a better way, and you get to take care of the people who is by your side. I think that for the parents it's a good way to trust in their sons, because sometimes they are so overprotected, and I will not judge that because I don't have a kid with Down syndrome, but sometimes it's so hard for the parents to let them try new things, and mostly things that has a risk. And I think that circus, it's a good way to play and to grow. And I will share you this on the other video. Also, one of the other things that I want to try or to apply here in Cancun, here there's a lot of circus work in the hotels and things like that, like an animation. And I want to make a little company with Down syndrome people to go to the hotels and do some animation and start to prove that they can also live doing circus. I live doing circus here in Cancun, so I want to share that opportunity to them to professionalize in this area, and to show yes, to show the world that they can do anything, but mostly to show them that they can do whatever they want, and if they propose them, they can do whatever. They can dream, they can make your reality. I think that that's everything for me. Thank you. And here are my social media if you want to maybe sometimes follow me on, or if you have any questions. Thanks again for the space. I will stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Itzel. That was a wonderful presentation. I was chatting with Marcos. We were planning to do 3 breakout rooms today because we usually have about 70 people in the last meetings, but today we have a slightly smaller group. So we're going to keep the breakout rooms to just 2. We'll do one for Itzel and one for La Pau. So if you want to chat more with Itzel now, we're going to create a breakout room for that, or you can go chat with La Pau.
And starting to create our own. So that was mostly my field before the pandemic. But the pandemic is when I started to have my nieces and the friends and all the family started to just had all this panic of what should we do and where kids could go. So we were starting to do this bubble. So that's how it really started. So right now I've been just continuing because it was or it is still very new for me. So I'm really learning right now. And for your question, at this moment, at least politically wise, Mexico City, I don't know if you know, but we have a new president. She's a woman, she's a feminist, she's a family member. She's really very horizontal way of looking things. and she's opening a lot of new programs. So I am right now as like a shark trying to find all these places where we can actually make this not only the work, but the thought to really get to people the importance of the play with older people and with youth. So we are having right now like very important conversations with the Secretary of Culture, the Secretary of Education, and the Secretary of Work in Mexico City, trying to get all these things together so that it gets like a virtual circle, circle vicious, not vicious, but yeah, that like positive one. And so I am right now getting together with other circus members and other teachers to get all this conversation of what it really means and how can we make it as free and accessible and inclusive as possible. So I really hope, Stuart, that this gets founded in at least in the Mexico City development, not only in the parks, not only in the classes, but as well like in the schools, as well with their families. And it's just a thought that we need to make it very clear that this, if we change the importance in our minds, then everything starts to restructure for a happier place. And so I believe that that's the most important right now, to make people understand the importance of it. So let's see what happens. But yeah, we have like really big plans. I like to travel as much as possible. I like to know people. I'm ready to just keep as much possible happening so that it really, everything just gets to where it belongs. So that's kind of the plan so far. I hope I answered a little bit the question.
That's a great plan.
Sí, sí. And you have Circus Hub, Panayo.
Yes,
Yes.
hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, well, I can.
Well, congratulations for all the nice work you've been doing.
Thank you.
And I myself have been working with the circus for the past 25 years. Professionally, I started in 2002. And recently, in June 2024, I opened the Circus Hub, which is a actual space that people can join the circus arts. And I'm very much interested in the way part of my plan is to work with small children and elderly people as well. So my question is, how do you first, two questions actually. The first is the time schedule. I mean, I understand that now you have mixed classes of ages. Like, because I'm trying to make a schedule and I was thinking of making, say, from 5 to 6 for people, for children, like, I don't know, dividing with the age, according to their age, small children and then bigger ones and then the adults. But from what you said, I'm having second thoughts. I'm thinking of maybe I should do a mixed class all together. I mean, have different time scheduled because of people cannot be at the same time all the time. But during that period, to have mixed ages. Like, don't say 5 to 6 people, but let's say that we have classes at this time and this time and this time, and whatever time you like, you can come. And there will be a mixed class with, I don't know. And that's one. The other one is when you work with people like infants, like 1-year-olds with their parents. What time during the day do you do that? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? And the final question, are you a private equity? Are you making money out of that? And do you have a business model? I mean, how do you operate? Or are you funded by the government or something?
Yes. See, so well, it is very, as I said, organical, like really the free play model and the free expression, as I said, is not that I need to structurize it. It just has to be free, and how to make the responsibility of making really inclusive in all the ways, not only in ages, but as well like I work as well with discapacity in English, right? Disabled people. I focused mostly in deaf people because I've been learning sign language, and I find the pantomime very easy, but as well with blind people. So what I mean is like we need to really have the free sale, like we really need to be open for it. At least that's my experience. So yes, at the beginning I structure like this is the baby circus, and it's Mondays from 4 to 5, like 1 hour maximum, because I knew that normally 45 minutes of class is enough for a baby, right? And then comes the next one, and is the from 3 to 5 years old, and it's as well 1 hour. Great. And then I had on Wednesday, which is like the other days, I had like for a little bit older people, like, well, older kids. It's from 5 to 7, and then after from 7 to 12. But as I said, they had brothers. And Mexico City, at least, is a really huge city. So for people, mothers and fathers, to drive and to come to my place, it takes them sometimes more than an hour to arrive. So it's not like, oh, I can just go Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It's like they can just afford to come once a week because of the distances. So they were like struggling, the mothers, and asking me, but how can I cannot go Mondays or Wednesday? I have to choose one because that's the time that I have. And that's when I said, like, come, bring them, and let's see how it really interacts and how it becomes. And if sometimes you cannot bring the kid and it's the grandfather who brings the kids, then let's allow the grandfather to come. And as soon as the grandfather arrives, I tell him, like, you can take off your shoes too, and you can come and play. And I invite you, I encourage you to come and play with your kid, because I'm not a babysitter. I'm just allowing a space for you guys to connect. And it's been really like open-eyed, especially for the uncles and the mothers and the grandparents, to know, like, oh, I can join the class, but will you charge me more? Because now it's like, no, this is not for money. I mean, I charge for the classes, of course, but once I had paid for the one kid, just come everybody. It's okay. Let's make this fun. Let's make this inclusive. Let's make this like for everybody and truthful. Like of course I wanna get more money. Of course I do. But it's not through the love. It's not through the game. It's not through there. I need to get my money from other places. But if I start putting barriers, economical barriers to the people, then I will just start losing them again, and then it won't be inclusive, and then I'm just saying something but doing something different. So I believe that it's okay to keep the structure, and I don't say that it's mixed for everybody. I just keep on saying Monday from 4 to 5 is the baby class. Then after is the saltimbanquis, and on Wednesday is for the older ones, and on Friday during the daytime is for the older people, because they don't work. right? And they can come and they can use their time, and I don't tell them like anything. They just come, let's play. And oh, you're hurt, it's okay, you can have a coffee if you want. You don't have to anything. Just come and feel with the people, because normally people just want to talk and they want to see, and they're more introvert. They don't feel like just, yeah, I'm gonna do cartwheels and stuff. It's like, I just want to see people happy. I don't want to feel by myself alone. I don't want to stay at home and just watch TV. I want to meet other people, and I need things that allows me to be out of home and meet other people and socialize. So I think I'm just like mixing a little bit all your questions, but that's pretty much how it has been happening. And families are really thankful, because most of them, they're telling me constantly, oh, I finally found a place where I don't feel like I need to behave certain way, or that I have to do this or I have to do that. And I feel really relaxed, and I can be myself, and I can see that everything is happening. So I'm right now just like courageously just saying, this is at least right now what I'm just gonna do until life gives me like this and tells me, no, now it's different. I will continue this way, and I will try to get as profound as possible to make it really an open space and welcoming everybody at the same time. Because what is great about Circus is that the methodology or the game is the same. Throwing a ball is just the same everywhere. And throwing the ball for 1 year old, and that they do this, or they don't even throw, having an older people doing exactly the same what the baby can do, because that's it. And then coming somebody else, like, you just propose a game, and they choose. They choose their level. What the only thing that I do say or tell them is, if it's too easy, if you choose something easy, it will become boring. But if you choose something difficult, then it will become
Interesting.
stressful. So find your inner way, and you
Okay.
choose. You are responsible for your own growth. And I tell them that even for the 2 years old and the 1 year old, they're like, you choose. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just gonna guide you. I'm gonna propose. I'm gonna poke you a little bit here. And if you're like this, I'm gonna shake you up. And if you're shaking up, I'm gonna just stay still. And I'm just gonna keep on provoking with my own game, with my own play. So I don't know. I think that's pretty much all the questions, and I don't know, I wanna hear you guys as well. I hope I answered something.
Yes, thank you.
Somebody else, or I can just continue until you raise your hand and then you talk. It's another way. I don't want to tell you what to do.
I will. Sorry, I'm thinking of joining the other breakout room to see what's going on there. So maybe I'll see you
Sure,
later.
please.
Thank you.
It's amazing what she does.
Yeah.
Yes. See. And anybody here, should I pick you up? Like, what about this person down here? Or here? I don't know his name.
Maybe I would like to tell you that I really love your approach, your like the community focus and the social part of the circus, how you focus on the people being together, being inclusive, and choosing to mix all people together to show them the all aspects and possibilities of circus arts to be connect, to be at the same room in the same time. I really like it. That's the impressive work.
Yes, thank you. See, what I found, and this is maybe something interesting for you guys, that when the babies arrive, normally the parents want, I put the trapezes and stuff, no? Like it depends on the ages that I'm working. I set the space so that it's already welcoming and people start, the kids start to recognize the space. And so, I know this game, and they make this house or this space, they make it their own, like fully, like they know how to open the door even, like, and welcoming other people. They're not allowed to go. But what I want to say is, when the parents arrive and they want their kids to be the best, of course. Oh yeah, my kid can talk, and my baby can already read, and my baby can talk 3 languages, and my baby, and blah 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 blah, and my baby is a great trapezist. And so they put the babies, and they just like put them like if they were like a sack of thing, and just like, look what you can do, and like, no, wait, just let them teach you, or let them tell you what they want, and they want you to be with them, but they want to choose what they want to play with. So don't stress them. And I found that the moment that a parent just put the baby into the trapeze, the baby, if they're not scared, is great. But most of them is like, oh no, like they feel like obliged to do something. And then it really takes like other 3 classes or 1 month for the baby to by himself go and grab the trapeze. So I encourage the parents not to force them to do anything. They just need to follow their kids and play with them, no? But then the best part is when the little guy, the older guys, the 3 years old, arrive with the babies, because there's a moment where the classes mix really, like when the baby starts to go and the little one starts to come, there is a moment of like 5-10 minutes where they are all together. And then the bigger ones arrive and they grab the trapeze and they become Tarzan and all this stuff. And the babies, you can see how they go, oh, that's possible. And nobody told them anything. The kids were just playing. And the next class, the babies go and like, yes, I learned this from my teacher, which is 3 years old. Like my friend Tomas taught me how to do this, you know? Without talking, without saying anything, you can just see how they really, between each other, they teach each other. And it's fabulous, it's amazing. And then grandfathers and mothers and our parents, they are like, oh, they learn by themselves as well. Like I don't have to teach them how to do, and I can stop relaxing and shut my mouth and just like being with them and being amazed of how they learn through play, because they teach us. Like it's through game that we learn. But we mostly as adults are like saying like, you need to play through game, but it's like you need to game through, then you can learn. It's very upside down everything. So it is very, very beautiful to see that the babies are learning from the 3 years old. It is amazing. I love that. Any other maybe you have experiences or other questions, or I don't know.
Hi, hello. I would like to thank you for your presentation. It was really inspiring. I just jumped from the another breakout room, and I don't know if you already answered these questions. I was really interested into the classes for Circus Baby. I don't know if you if you were already speaking about that. If yes, maybe a short summarizing. I would like to ask you, how is it going? Do you have any structure for these classes, or you just make the space for people who are coming and you trying to keep the space safe and welcome for everyone?
Yes, Well, we've been talking, of course, about it, but it is so many things and so many possibilities and so many things happening, and it constantly changes. So it's just, I feel like it is a matter of really being open of not my ego, not what I want. I don't want to put my greatness. I don't know what my words are a little bit better, but I don't want to put like my great I have done this and all my triumphs. I don't want to put them like because my ego tells me that my kid or my students are now 3 years old and they can juggle 3 balls. Like it's not about me. It's about them and having their space. Normally, what I found is that, at least in Mexico City, there is very, very few places, but really few places where kids younger than 5 years old can play and do things together. It's kind of impossible to find these places. Normally, everybody, as teachers, because we are afraid, or at least I was afraid to teach babies. Like that was not, and I wasn't afraid of the babies. I was afraid of the parents, no? Like I was really afraid of, like, if it was safety enough and if something happened. And I don't know, I had like not great experiences with mothers, like are like very protective of their kids. So I was like not wanting to go through that kind of drama, no? But then I thought about the kids and I thought about like they don't have spaces where they can meet other kids. Most of the kids are just in their apartment with their parents and that's it. And some they have other friends, but it's like younger than 5 years old, like activities, I don't find them very easily. I don't. And most of them is like, well, you give your kid to the, I don't know, this place, and then you can go and work. But there's no places where they can actually meet and grow together and stay together and play together. So I found these places, spaces, very, very useful for families. They come and go, arrive to the space and go, I finally arrived to my oasis. I finally arrived and that's what they take, like this little vacation moment where they can play without any judgment, without anything to do. And something that I do want to say is like sometimes I take the moment because I see the kids that they need or they want some structure. Then I go, okay, let's do not somersaults, marometa. Let's do rolls. Yeah, everybody roll. So, and I do like 3 minutes of let's roll, and I just activate the rolling for 3 minutes. People get like focused in the rolling their own way, however they want to, however they can, like the grandmothers and with the babies, and they have fun and they laugh and and then
Hello.
okay, let's do something different.
Breakout rooms will be closed in 5 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you. So I do put a lot of structure when I can, when I see that is necessary, when I see that people are just like not finding the flow of game, because that is important. I want them to be interested in the game. I want them to be in the zone. I provoke them to be in the zone, like not thinking too much, not talking too much, but playing. And if I don't see that they're playing, then I provoke that game. And if I see that it is necessary to do like everybody together and let's hold hands and let's just run around or just like let's throw balls in the air, like no matter what, and we just throw and that's okay. And then okay, now we need to put everything together. And then I say, like, let's put all the oranges to one side and the green sides to one side. But that's something that it just happens by the moment. It's not something that I'm planning. I'm not planning my class. I have many other ways to actually, I get surprised myself of how did I come up to this game? Like, this is crazy. How did that happen? And it's because I didn't plan it. If I had planned it, probably wouldn't have happened. No, so it's just like really building up with them. They as well guide me through what they want. They want more risk. Let's have all the risk until they go like, oh no, that's too much. Like, well, now we have to do it. Obviously, all this risk with the safety. No, like I need to know that we are all safe. I need to know, and or I make everybody responsible of our own safety as a group. And I talk a lot with the kids. We sit a lot and we talk. What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to happen? What would you like not to happen? Like we talk a lot as well. And at the end of the class, normally we as well have a little talk of what I like the best, no? And they just get to talk and it's okay. And some babies don't even talk and they just point and they get shy and that's okay too. But give them the space to try is very important, as I feel. And I think that's really empowering to them. Although if I don't give them that moment, then I'm just like not allowing them to express themselves verbally as well. And then it's just again, no, like me saying what to do or what not to do. Did I answer again something? And I think it's pretty much.
Yes, thank you. I think that your energy can fulfill the whole classes for sure. I can feel it. Also, I can imagine this kind of classes. I also run this kind of classes called Circomotoric. So for kids from 3 to 6 years old. But as I became mother on my own, I'm starting to think to run classes for smaller even kids, no, like for 1 year old and so on. And this sounds challenging because you can't talk to, I mean, you can talk, but they can't respond yet when they are 1 year old. And then also it's not obvious that all activities are possible because of this stage of development. Yeah, this is still early to offer anything. I mean, the body is different when the kid is 1 year old and when it's 3, 4, 5. So that's why I would really love to participate in such a classes when there are exactly like this such a small kids like 1 year old, like and then what does it mean that it's circus class? It's about props around or topics because it's so much still about motorics. Yeah.
Yes, we have 30 seconds now. Kids can do everything and we can be with them. Like I get them to really try to do things that they will be helpful for their lives. How to get down from the bed. So let's get down from the mattresses. And I just guide them a little bit, like not to go like with the head in front, but like how to turn so their body starts to memorize all these things. So it is really a space, just space. Give them the space to just be. We don't have to tell them anything. We don't have to plan it, but we can guide them with what we know, and especially with the patience and love.
Hello. Yeah. So I'm recording this room, so we have it. There you go. This is Itzel space. So I'm just here to help.
Okay. I don't know if someone has like a specific question or something you want me to ask me, to tell me. I'm free. Yeah.
Hi, Itzel,
Hi.
and hi, Craig, and hi, people that I don't know yet. That was wonderful. It was such a wonderful presentation. I'm also a physical therapist, and I haven't gotten to combine my work yet. I haven't gotten to combine my circus work and my physical therapy work. But I've researched some of how to make circus more accessible for people with different physical disabilities, and working with people with Down syndrome and with significant hypermobility. I've just been trying to find, I've been looking at research and the literature, and so I'm curious what sort of adaptations you guys made to ensure safety while allowing the kids to participate. That's sort of my question. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that some of my mentality that helps me is that at the end of the day, I teach the same way I teach the regular kids, you know, because I mean, yes, they have a differences, but for example, working with the hyperlaxitude, I think that for me it's very important to work first with the strong, like to have muscles, because if you touch all the kids with Down syndromes, they're like very soft because they don't have any muscles. So for me, it's important to first get them strong. I mean, they are strong, but they doesn't know how to use that strong in his body. And I think that, for example, the aerial fabrics helps with that because they are like suspended, and being suspended force them to use their body, or to realize that if they've I don't know how to say, to soltar, if they open her hands, they will fall. Or if, yes, I think that that's something that I like for use in the aerial silks. And also all the kids are different, so you will need to see each body because they react different too. But for me, I mean, I will say that yes, I am like a ally of disability because they are like us. I mean, um, we all learn in different ways. So just to, I mean, they took a little more time to get the information, but I think that for me, it's always the same. I mean, if you are going to work with a regular person, you will ask at the beginning if they are injured, if they have any surgery or any condition special, you know. For me, it's like to work with the individual, to work with the person, no, not with the disability.
Right. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. And just and I don't want to take up too much time, but just I think that for the circus world is still learning how to work with people with hypermobility, like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I think that we're still a little bit behind in knowing how to keep people safe and keep people's joints safe while still allowing them to do things. So I guess, yeah, so I'm just sort of wondering if there were techniques you came up with, but I think the focus on strength makes a lot of sense.
The straight and the conscious, because yes, for example, some of the kids, obviously they feel pain, but they can handle a lot of pain. Or sometimes they don't notice that they hurt or they burn, you know. So yes, you have to learn her to be conscious of her body, and I think that circus helps a lot with that. Yeah, thank you. Another one? If you don't understand me, tell me. I'm trying to do my best with my English and to speak well. I don't know, somebody else. Mm, No, nothing. No.
Come on, who's in here? We got Lapo's in here. Lapo, what do you think of this stuff you saw?
Sorry, man, I'm doing yoga because I got my shoulder is compromised. So I'm trying to fix my shoulder and while I'm listening to this stuff. No, I mean, I'm completely agree at 100% about what she's saying. Everything, like how to teach with them and the importance of the relationship. I mean, but I'm quite curious. Do you want to tell us something funny that happened? Because I think the funny moments that really I mean, it's more peculiar talk about all the basic philosophical lines. So if you want to tell us something important or something funny, I'm curious about this.
Something fun. When I was doing the final show of the pilot project, I was really nervous because I have like 5 different groups and they haven't met each other until the day of the show. So, and also for almost all the kids was the first time to being on stage doing circus. So I was a little nervous about the lights, the people, the stage. And there was a lot of the kids that 5 minutes before they were like, okay, no, I will not do it this. I want to go home and start crying and so crisis for all over the stage. But then the show started and I couldn't get off the stage. So I was like, okay, no, it's not your turn, and I have to go down from the stage. I think that and working with kids, it's like they have done like a pee or poo poo on the silks, on the fabric, because they don't. I mean, the little ones doesn't control themselves. So there's a lot of funny things on the classes. We never get bored.
With how many kids do you work with?
And now I have like I work in one association, but I go 3 days at week. One day I work with this separate group, which is the one that I want to do like the company, and I work like a specific techniques with each of them. And the other 2 days I have like 4 groups for like a 5 or 4 people by group.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Your class sizes are 4 to 5 people, 4 to 5 students. Yeah, small groups because you're by yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm by myself and I have 3 silks. So I try to
I think it works out
Yeah.
that way anyway. Smaller group sizes is better in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, also when I work with the little ones, I try to be one by one at the beginning. Until I know they can be by themselves in the silks. I
got a question. So Lapo asked like what was like a funny thing. So what are some surprising moments where they really surprised you? Because for me at the beginning of my research, like I was just getting surprised all the time by what they could do. Because at first I didn't really understand. So have you had moments like that as well, where you're just like, wow, I didn't know they could.
Yes, they hang and they start to roll the silks on his body and start to doing figures that I didn't teach them. Or for example, we went to the circus. There was a circus camp and there was a girl in the hoop, and I recently teach them like a hoop, and they were like so excited to see the girl in the hoop on the circus. And the girl made like a trick, like she hung from his feet. I don't know how to say it. It's like he hung, and the next class 2 girls arrived to the hoop and start hanging on the foot, and one of them realized it, and I was like, oh, okay.
So they copied what they saw on the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she was able to hang by her feet.
I really like that idea you have about, we talked about that before. It's like trying to make a company with them as well, because you have that market in Cancun as well with a lot of hotels and things, and it would be amazing if, where it's level 1 is creating educational programming for different types of people, and then level 2 is using that education for employment, right?
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got another question. I mean, you have only, let's say, true Down syndrome, or you have mixed with some other things like blind Down people or autistic Down people? You have
No,
mixed ones or just straight ones?
for now I work only with Down syndrome. There's a few kids that has autism too, but it's a little level of autism. But yes, now in the foundation that I am, it's just Down syndrome. But I want to do something also with people that are in
Chair.
chair wheels, yeah, to get to hang
Wheelchairs.
and feel fun, yeah.
Wheelchairs, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of dance companies that do that work already. I think if
Yeah.
you look outside of circus into theater and dance and music, you see those disciplines, those industries are so far ahead of us. You know, they've been doing this a lot longer.
You have yoga. You have one yoga method for wheelchairs. I think you can find it around. I did one workshop once. They had just the yoga for wheelchairs.
For example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Esther. Is Esther, yeah? Did you have a
Esther?
question? No? Anybody have a question they want to ask or share something, or just even comment if you want to just say, hey, good job.
Wow.
Make connections.
Hiko was waving. Maybe
Yeah.
that was a question.
I think she was just waving to me. I think that's Esther. It's her. She's just saying hello.
She was
Oh,
like,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, never mind.
Yeah.
I can just share that I'm happy to hear your experience, and it's opening in my mind the possibility with exactly this group with people with Down syndrome, as I had like very, very small experience, and it was with the children in the school with very different and also mixed disabilities. So yeah, it just for this moment I feel it's encouraging to think also about this group as like a group that project is especially made for them, the whole activity. So it's just, I was super excited listening to your presentation, so thank you for that.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I find the barriers are really low for Down syndrome community. Like it's really the potentials are very high because the barriers are so low. You know, you have to be mindful of a few things, like Itzel was pointing out, but really you see how they excel in her program, right? It's just so it's an interesting group to work with. I think that's why early childhood development is getting popular, and also elderly care. So we see the same thing happen with elderly groups, early childhood development, Down syndrome is low barriers, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have to do that much to make it accessible for them. And in the case of the Down syndrome, I relate because it's not just that we make it accessible, but they transform the circus too. Like they don't take it 100% the way we give it to them, and
No,
they spit it back out to us a little bit different, and I like that.
they have their own like a spice or touch, and I think that that's very special too.
How do you feel about the clown element? Because I've seen a lot of like theater programs too with a clown and Down syndrome, and it's sort of a natural combination. It works.
I haven't tried the
No.
clowns, no, but
Is
it will
there-
be interesting.
All my Down syndrome friends have great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Their comedic timing is on on point.
Well, yes, a lot of them they are not as shy people, so I think that it's a good thing into the circus because they are always open to try new things, and they doesn't care about anything about if they are doing good, they are doing bad. I mean, they don't care.
What else? Marcos, you want to say something? You want to share?
Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm from Greece. I'm a partner of Craig, and in May I will do the seminar of a teacher training seminar that Craig did, and he continued to do it. My English is very bad, sorry.
Me too. Don't worry.
And when I do the seminars, after the seminar, the next day, I take the people from the seminar and I go to a place with children with disabilities. I speak with this place and I say, we are these guys, we do this. We can come to do free circus for you, and I want all the participants of the seminar to make practice with your kids. And I do this always. So the participants have the opportunity to see all the methods directly with these kids. And this time in May, I spoke and I'm organized to, after the seminar, to go to a place with kids with Down syndrome, only with Down syndrome.
Nice.
And it's the first time that I will do it with 20 children's Down syndrome children's. Yeah,
Nice.
and I think it will be very good. I have worked with them, but you know, in general, with typical minds of kids, or in places with opting people, blind people, but it was only one or two. But that time realized the Down syndromes that I have met, they are very tired with juggling very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like the Aptis people, they stay more, or the DHTV.
TDH.
Yeah. Yeah, or and also the blind people, they stay more. The Down syndrome, after a little bit, it's very confusing for them, and
Bored. Yeah. Yeah,
they love the silks, they love to fly, they love to moving
move. Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I think that's why I work with them, because I think I am the same. I'm not a juggling person, and I am a realist. So maybe I connect with them like that, because I am doing that too. So yes, maybe. Yeah, but also I think that Down syndrome people are so open to try new things, and they are optimists to learn new things too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Down syndrome is the most easy for me neurodiversity, because it's more easy to communicate. It's more social persons.
Yeah. Yeah, not all of the people with Down syndrome,
Of
but
course.
yes,
It's a
mostly.
spectrum. It's also a spectrum as well.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say about Marcos's point there. Oh, is yeah, like I think you could be right about that. And then, but that's also why it's important to expose them to the juggling, right? To like always try a little bit longer periods of concentration. So I don't know, it's so maybe you noticed in your program, have they been increasing how much time they can spend with juggling? Have you noticed before they get bored?
For me, it's like 20 minutes, but the little ones are the ones that keeps more juggling.
The little
More
one.
fun. Yeah, because the older one, I don't know if it's just because they already know the circs and they like and they want to go to the circs, but the little ones are the ones that keeps more on juggling.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never worked with a little one with maybe 8 years old, 10 years old. Always was 15, 20, 25 years old. And in juggling, they stay about 5-10 minutes, and then
Go.
they want something more exciting for them, more adrenaline.
More dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I'm very curious about the May after the seminar that we will do, because we will have 20 kids. So different ages and different level of the neurodiversity that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we will see. We have 2 hours with them. We will do circus and then functional juggling 2 hours with them.
And you will work just with the kids or with the parents too?
I said I know how is the guy that he has this building is not the boss, is from the government guy. That I want also the parents to stay there just to look how effective is this method. Because sometimes the parents are very how to say they came always and they take the hand and they say, you don't understand. Okay, look the leader what you say. Okay, focus here. No, just leave me and the children.
Yeah.
And just you can just look.
Yeah.
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 Because it's not something that if it was like a lesson like 2 times every week, okay, come with your parent and I want to teach also the parent, because when you are go home you can practice together. In this case, okay, but in the other case I have 2 hours only with your kids, so just stay there, look how we do it, and look how your kid, it will be very fun and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. I don't like, I mean, I also work with the teachers or with the parents, but I prefer to work along with the kids, because also sometimes the kids always when I'm tell them to do something and their parents they are like, look for his parents to give them the permission, and it's like, no, you focus, or ask them if they can do it, you know. And sometimes, yeah, like I was saying, like the parents are so protected, and I don't saying that it's a bad thing, but sometimes the kids needs to make their own decisions and to be to handle with the consequences. They're good or bad, they have to take care of that too. Yeah.
Does anyone else here have experience working with Down syndrome, doing circus or any context? Esther, yeah? Have you done circus in this community? Have you done juggle board with them? Your microphone is turned off.
I think it's open.
There we go.
Yeah, but usually not only Down syndrome, but all kinds of mentally handicapped is the word, I think, mentally challenged, whatever. I never have only Down syndrome.
Yeah, but you have experience
like
in those
mixed
populations as well.
Mixed syndromes.
What is your field of practice again? Your background?
I'm clowning and I'm teaching circus, and I have some social work education, but
yeah, that's what
I don't work in that since I started juggling 25 years ago. So I have some background there, but yeah, and I don't have a group like I think the others who just were speaking have a group. They have all the time every week or something, but I more have like bookings once a year or only one time or a few times or sometimes 5 times. So
yeah, that's what I think is interesting with Itzel's project as well, is that she's in this situation where she gets a lot of exposure to the same group for a long time. I think with a lot of the other projects, like with the way funding works in Europe and stuff, it's always like a little bit short term, and you've always got to try to deliver the most with the least. So I don't know how she managed to pull that off for herself, but it's I think that's what's adding to the quality of her project, is that she's having 3 days of exposure for weeks, for a week, for a long period of
Yeah,
time.
great. Yeah.
And I think that's a sort of the truth, the reality of how much you need to work with these different populations in order to, you know, like for a high functioning kid with no impairments, okay, once a week, 2 hours, great, you're good. Over the course of the year, you see development. But with people with additional needs, you know, it also means additional time and additional focus. So yeah, I don't see as many projects that are operating the
Hello.
Itzel as
Breakout
like
rooms
to.
will be closed in 5 minutes. Thanks.
One topic, because Kate, you're here from the US, right? I don't know how active you are with the American Circus Educators Organization or Youth Circus. Are you involved with those guys at all?
Yeah, I've been volunteering for them for many years. I was involved for years with the Social Circus Committee, but that is currently on hold, and so which is a good thing. But I'm now with the Jedi Committee, so for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Because I'm always thinking of ways to connect, and like, you know, this conversations in the US are hard to connect to other parts of the world. It's a lot easier to connect other parts of the world. We don't need to get into why, but the United States has some barriers. And I'm trying to connect you guys to more people. So I'm just thinking, like, you see these people here in Mexico, there's so much happening. Like, it's just the social circus is being pioneered in Mexico, and in the US, you guys are like, so how can we ideas to connect these conversations, because you're right next door. And even now more than ever, with the political, you know, barriers being put between the two cultures, is now when we need to really try to get those two countries to interact, right, to bypass all that other stuff. So just to put that on the radar, we could find ways to get US conversations more connected with Mexico.
I totally agree, and I love that, and I'm so happy to see Sandra here from the US. And then there was one other person that maybe, oh, and Kevin was.
Kevin.
But I was thinking that earlier in this thing, I'm like, there's so many awesome people from all over the world, which is so great. But I'm like, why is the US circus community not showing up?
Yeah, and
here?
I sent direct emails to like 100 circus schools in the US. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot to distract you guys right now. There's a lot to distract you. But I feel solidarity is needed in this moment. So it's not like I'm criticizing. I'm saying like, hey, look, the rest of the world, we're here. We're a lifeline. Help you get through this next 4 years and get back on track.
Right.
And be
And
hanging out with,
yeah, it's so inspiring to hear and see the work that other people are doing. I mean, I left 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm starting a social circus program here in the town that I'm living in. But yeah, I would love to try for the next 2 to see if we can get more people involved from the US community.
Yeah, well, for the next meetings, it's going to be the groups from Europe again. This was a special feature for Mexico that I decided to do because I think it was really valuable to see. So yeah, we'll continue developing those conversations. Hopefully you can be, you know, thanks for showing up, Kate, basically. Thanks for showing up, represent USA, and try to be a rod, you know, try to be a catalyst to get other circus people happening in the US. Because I also know, like, I grew up in the US and like the gears just move slower there because, you know, things are happening, and it can be so rejuvenating to get involved in conversations that are happening in other parts of the world where they're just like moving ahead so fast with things. And then you can take that back to your own country and be like, guys, I think we could do more. I think we can, you know.
Maybe it's because the US, the circus is also considered like a bit of a competitive environment.
It
Whereas
depends. In the
Europe,
juggling world, yes, but in the social circus, there's a really strong social circus culture that has developed in the US. Like, but it's having trouble to sort of expand, I think, and integrate more. So we're working on it.
unfortunately, it's going to be needed badly in the next
Yeah,
year.
but you
So
have other cultures. I'm sorry to get off topic now, but you have other cultures like in Spain or something where they have like they're super competitive with football and everything, and they love circus. You know, they're super into it. So it depends. Any final thoughts, Excel, you want to share? Because I think they're going to close the room soon. Last questions, compliments. Now you all know if you ever plan on a
you.
trip to Cancun, just hit up Itzel.
Yeah, you are welcome anytime here.
Okay, breakout rooms are closing, so I'm going to end this recording and I'll see everyone back in the main room. So many people left now. We're down to, I think, 20 people in the Zoom meeting. And what we're going to do to wrap up is just have each host share with us a little bit of what the conversation was like so the people in the other room can hear what that was about. And then I'll give you some updates about the next episode so you can be ready for that. And then you'll be, see you next time.
We talk about, but I mean, there was a certain doubts about how do I deal with the physical things with people with Down syndrome, like the hyperlaxitude or things like that. And also we talk about a little of the juggling and Down syndrome people. And what else? Sorry, I got lost.
I think Marcos was sharing. A couple people had experience. No one has experience working exclusively with Down syndromes. We realized, and we also realized that Itzel's program is kind of unique. It's something maybe we can all be trying to work towards. Is that she's getting a lot of exposure per week for long periods of time with the same group of students, and I think that explains why she's having such high results. Because she's doing 3 days a week with some of these kids. And we compared that to a lot of the European projects, which tend to be funded or granted. And then it's maybe you get a lot of exposure, but it's for a short period of time, or you don't continue the process with them after the project is over. So just make a note of that, right? How when you're working with these populations, if you want to achieve more, you also have to consider more time, more attention, not just adaptation as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. La Pau. La Pau.
Yay. Well, it was very beautiful to keep on expanding a little bit more of why or how it has been happening this way. And pretty much the main questions were like how I would structurize or how I would do like or why did I do it mixed instead of just like having very clear that these are the ages and these are like the topics. And people, it seems that were really excited about this offering of making it really open and mixed with ages and with differences, no? So what I've been just talking is that it really goes in a moment of it is very important that we take this space as a space and not necessary as a very structure that we have goals and that we have like all these things, because it is important, but itself or naturally will happen naturally. It will just come. We just need to be as patient with our kids as with the results of what we want to do, because otherwise we start guiding again to what we know, and then we don't know the unknown. And it's amazing to get to touch the unknown, and it's little by little, because otherwise it just like be a very hard bomb, or we cannot do it very fast. Accidents might happen, no? So we just go very slowly and allow people to adapt to that class, to that 1 hour. And if it becomes that 1 hour, a 2 hour, great, let's celebrate that. It's okay. And after the 2 hours, then the kids are doing their picnic. So they stay another 2 hours just hanging out and just sharing food. And why not? Let's have that space for it to grow and to happen and make the relationship as strong as possible, because that's the main thing. We want a strong society because we get to know each other and support each other. And I think that was pretty much what I feel that it was the main focus, even though we didn't say it in those words. And I don't know if you had something else or if that's enough, or I don't know.
Yep, that's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to share with everyone now what's going to happen in the next episode. So next week, that's breakout rooms. Next week, we have the presenters, two presenters, Elga Polet from Bruges in Belgium, who's been doing collaboration with design colleges in Belgium as well. And they've been creating adapters for existing props, redesigning existing props, and designing new props. So it's going to be a conversation about the adaptation process with her. And the other presenters are the Circo Associación de Artistas from Barcelona. And they've also really big prop developers, but in a, I guess, a more informal way, using repurposed materials. And they're going to talk about their application approach, which is definitely a lot more free play than the directions that I've developed, and how they've had success with that model. So if you'd like to continue those conversations, if you felt this series of symposiums has been beneficial and enriching for you, then we encourage you to come back in 2 weeks on, what is the date for the calendar? March
19th.
March 19th, same time, same Zoom link. Please share with your friends. We will have our tech guy's sick right now, so everybody wish him well. But we will have this edited and published and out to you in an email. So we encourage you to share these links if you think the conversations are interesting. We building bridges, building connections is how we move forward. So thank you.
And actually, our tech guy Bandaguz is sick, but we had a new tech guy, Attila, and thanks a lot for him to jump into this game in the last moment yesterday. We really improved ourselves we got an upgrade of Zoom in the last 24 hours. Yes.
Okay, so we will see everyone next time. Thank you all so much. Ciao.